What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Paranormal Ripples. I'm Ray, and I'm doing Secrets of the Stars episode 29 tonight, and I'm joined by my friend Caleb. Well, I would be, but he's just gone for a second. I'm gonna just have to post in the just gonna have to get him back, but on this episode, I am going to be talking to him, and hopefully Daniel will be in a minute, right? About the moon base or secret moon base that is on the moon. Yeah, self-explanatory there. There's apparently a moon base on the moon, right? So I'm going to get obviously Caleb's thoughts on this and everything soon. And
sorry about that.
It's all right, mate. So yeah, welcome to Caleb, who's joining me.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So before I start and about this, and forgive me everyone, if you enjoy it, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share with everyone, and comment on some topics you think I should be discussing. Also, go and check out Caleb's channel and that Shadow Assassin. But yeah, without further ado, I'll get into this topic with everyone. But before I do, I want to ask Caleb, have you heard anything about this, a moon base or secret moon base up on the moon?
I've heard parts of it. It's Indian. I've heard that much. I'm correct.
There's theories that they could be in there could be three in parties. It could be if it ain't a extraterrestrial, it could be Americans up there, Russians from the Soviet Union, or there could be Nazis. The Nazi one is hard to believe, but they were looking at alien tech during the Second World War, if you believe some stories. Because Hitler had them traveling to Antarctica and India, I believe.
Yeah.
So take it out of the equation. So say that's a false baloney one. There was a space race, obviously, between America and the Soviet Union at the time. Hence why 1969 Apollo 11 mission happened. If anyone doesn't know, I think everyone will know. There was a space race between the Soviets and the Americans, and because the Soviets were that close, I'm going to say that close to trying to send a man to the moon, America jumped on and said, "Oh, we can go and do it first." And that's how Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins all went up in Apollo 11 and managed to get to the moon. You know, Michael Collins never stepped foot on the moon. So
I remember that. I know Michael Collins. I know Michael Collins.
Yeah, he was the one who had to stay in a module and orbit while Buzz and Neil basically took the steps on the moon. And Neil Armstrong famously said, "One small step for man, and one giant leap for mankind."
Aye.
But then there's a lot of theories spinning out that it was all baloney and hoaxed by Stanley Kubrick, and there's all them rumors that it was fake because of the Soviets. But we'll go into that in another day on the conspiracy thing. I'll go more about that when I'll talk about stuff. But so if the Americans did do it and put a secret moon base up there, it might explain why NASA's spending millions and billions of dollars every year trying to fund projects out there and that instead of looking in the ocean. But then looking on the flip side, if it ain't the Americans or the Soviets, or the Russians now, I'd say, what are the chances that it's extraterrestrial?
High.
Because
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. Also, what, mate?
What, sorry?
You said it I, and then you said also, and then you didn't finish the sentence.
And I said that also is plausible.
And if you think about it, everyone, we only see the light side of the moon every time. It does so much for us on this planet. If you think about it, it controls our tides for the oceans and seas. It gives balance to the day, obviously. But 4.5 billion years ago, there wasn't a thing for the moon. It come off of this planet because an object crashed into our planet 4.5 billion years ago, and that chunk which fell off of our planet ended up being the moon. That's why. That's what, and because they found lava flows, deep under the moon's surface, which I'm going to be talking about. But like I said, we only see the light side. You never go out and you go, oh, that's like you don't see the dark side of the moon, do you? And that's the moon surface that everyone's talking about could be hiding this moon base.
Yeah.
And in recent years, everyone has been from the Chinese to Americans. They've been landing more and more on that side to try and investigate it, which is crazy. So as I said, it's been 55 years since that Apollo 11 mission. It was 55 years ago on Tuesday, just gone, the 16th, everyone. When it took off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. So, I'm going to show you a couple of articles now. Well, 3 to be precise, and we can look at it right together, basically. So, first one's first. We're going to look at this one. Ancient alien city found on secret dark side of the moon in NASA images. And this was done in 2019, everyone. So if this was 2019, what have they found now? And not told us, basically. So 50 years ago this week, well, 55, just think it's 55 now because of the time I'm going to update the article, basically. So 55 years ago this week, man first set foot on the moon. Neil Armstrong won the race when he stepped out onto the lunar surface and declared, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." You know, that famous uttering saying. He was joined by fellow astronaut Buzz Aldrin as the pair spent several hours walking the surface of the moon. Michael Collins, who was also part of the mission, remained in the command module, basically. And so because he was still in orbit. They took off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on July the 16th, 1969. And as you can see, that's the only side of the moon we see, everyone. What you're seeing here, this bright white light. Well, unless it's orange like it was a few times. It took the crew just 8 days to reach their destination, and the rest is history. So, thanks. So they on Wednesday it would officially be 55 years that they first stepped foot on the moon. On this Wednesday, so you know, it's crazy how time flies. Images and footage of the historic moment were beamed around the globe. Mankind's first glimpse at lunar life. Since then, a raft of conspiracies have spun up about whether or not the moon landing was faked. But one of the most unusual ideas is that on the dark side of the moon, not visible from Earth, lies an ancient alien city. NASA images of the dark side of the moon have fueled this belief, though, that Earth's nearest neighbor is hiding an amazing secret. Here you go. And this is one of the images that they've looked at and they've got, saying showing squared shaped blocks, which they claim is from an ancient civilization. If you look, some of these pictures, obviously, like I said, just show square shaped rocks, and alien hunters have claimed these could be buildings. The To add to the, they add that the structures look to have been abandoned millions of years ago, which has led them to believe that a tragic accident or incident is the reason that aliens no longer live on the moon. Scott C. Waring wrote about his wild theory on the ET database. The conspiracy theorist said the objects seem to be very reflective, but have dark black areas that have a lot of right angles and appear to be structures. Some of these objects were white reflective roofs or buildings that had openings that allow ships to come and go. Some of the ships in those structures are aiming halfway out, which makes me think some tragic event happened that stopped them from exiting fully. Scott even believes that the ancient city could have once included a port or starport. Other conspiracy theorists claim to be certain that alien life still lives on the moon. Over the years, they claim to have spotted pyramids and other monuments on the surface. I've heard about that one, them saying that there's pyramids and that on the moon. But then again, like we said, if this comes off from Earth, how much of Earth has influence on the moon?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, they say, oh, there's pyramids and they some claim to have spotted pyramids and other monuments. Well, I'm not rude. They're closer. The moon is closer to us than any other planet. So, if they were aliens on here, they would want on the moon. I mean, they would want to look at us and see what we're building to try and build it themselves, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Or if they already knew how to build a pyramid, for example, or you say, like if they're the same species that helped the Egyptians build the pyramids, they would know what to do, wouldn't they?
Yeah, would yeah.
Have you heard that though about pyramids and that on the moon or monuments?
Yeah, no, I've not heard that one, no.
We'll have to have a look and see if there's any pictures of it in a minute. Some claim that there you go. This is another article that was come out the same day, and that by the same writer, I believe. Yeah, she's changed her bloody She's done 2 articles, and it looks like they've both started on with the same way, so she's had to change it some way. It looks like. She's done the same opening there. Okay.
Yeah.
She's done a copy and paste job on the first little bit. And there as well. And there. But then, here we go. Since then, there's been a further 7 missions to the moon. I mean, since 1969. 12 have just walked on its surface, while another 6 have drove lunar roving vehicles. That's crazy. 7 missions since 1969 to the moon. So in 55 years, they've only done 7 missions.
Right,
here we go. Here you go. Many think that the truth is far more connected to mankind. A secret lunar base set up by one of the Earth's superpowers. Some claim that the Nazis even managed to colonize and set up a base on the moon. This one I'm like laughing at, guys and girls, because I don't think Nazis would have that capability, but you know, you got to laugh. While others insist that the US is the one who has a huge complex on the far side. Not being rude, out of the two, you're looking at it, Nazis or the Americans. I'd say the Americans are more, you know, acceptable to having a lunar base on the moon.
yeah, they are.
There are wild claims even that Adolf Hitler landed men on the moon back in 1942. And Bulgarian researcher Dr. Vladimir Tzitsky even claims he has evidence to prove this bizarre theory. He said ever since their first day of landing on the moon, the Germans started boring and tunneling under the surface, and by the end of the war, there was a Nazi research base on the moon. Why? I'm not being rude. Don't get me wrong, dude. If that's what you believe that. But what would the Germans want with a research base on the moon? Their goal was global domination, not fucking lunar domination.
But think about it. I don't believe in this necessarily, but see if we did get there, we've got an entire world view, a view of Earth. So if something goes wrong, we can go up there, all the major ones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I was just thinking. Because look what happened with America and Japan with the fat bomb, the nuclear bombs.
Aye.
If that started doing more and more, he might have been looking at it like, oh shit, it could go wrong. I need to get up there.
Aye.
However, a base on the moon might not be as far-fetched as some people think. Late last year, so this was in 2019, everyone. I believe it, or was it 2018? This article, 2019, so 2018, right? Because I've got another article in a minute to talk to us about. Right, China landed a rover on the far side of the moon. The communist country. Oh God, I love how they say the communist country. Yeah, we know they're communist, but you don't need to put it into the fucking article. It's planning another 4 lunar missions based on the success of the first and could soon build a research base on Earth's nearest neighbor. Wu Yanar, Deputy Chief Commander of China's Lunar Exploration Program, said China, the US, Russia, and Europe are all discussing whether to build a research base or a research station on the moon.
Aye.
So everyone who remembers Space 1999 with and that you'll be happy to know that yeah, that could be a distant thing where we could be having a base on the moon, even UFO. Those 2 programs, yeah, if you remember them, they were based on the thing that we could have moon bases on, and it could be a possibility. Although Space 999 did say it would happen in the year 1999. What took them so fucking long? Right. Then last year we've got this article from the Independent, saying mysterious hidden structures have been found hundreds of meters deep on the dark side of the moon. And this one really gets me excited for what could be on the moon, basically. China's Chang'e 4 mission rover has helped scientists visualize hidden structures deep below the surface of the moon's far side, an advance that reveals billions of years of lunar history. The Yutu-2 rover, Jesus, that's a mouthful, helped make the discovery through its lunar penetrating radar that imaged deep into the moon's surface by listening to echoes of sound that then bounced back off structures under the lunar surface and is hidden from view. So think of it like SPR that we have on Earth, sonar. You know, when you get sonar penetrating radar, they've got lunar now. It's kind of exciting. The same rover and the mission's lander had made history already in 2019 as the first human objects to land on the far side of the moon. This is the side that faces away from the Earth. No shit. Scientists have previously used the rover's ground-penetrating radar, but those earlier efforts could help map only the top 40 meters, or about 130 feet. I'll delete that because it doesn't look thing. 100 feet of the moon's surface. This new discovery, though, has found the hidden structures at depths of about 984 feet or 300 meters. So this new data suggests that the first 130 feet under the lunar surface is made up of layers of dust, soil, and rocks, which is crazy. Radar analysis also reveals the presence of a buried crater that formed when a large object slammed into the lunar surface, as well as helped map ancient lava flows under the moon. Here we go, lava flows. How crazy is that? The GPR sends electromagnetic pulses into the lunar interior and receives echoes from subsurface layers. So that's basically saying what they do. Scientists speculate that the broken rocks surrounding this formation was likely debris produced by the impact. Through this investigation, we have discovered multiple layers in the upper 300 meters, which would likely indicate a series of basalt eruptions that occurred billions of years ago. And the lunar lava also likely flowed across the landscape in this part of the moon billions of years ago. So basically, here you go. The thickness variation of these lava flows suggests a decrease in eruption scale over time. Based on this evidence, they said that the lunar volcanic activity cooled gradually since the moon's formation over 4.5 billion years ago, when a Mars-sized object, I'll show you a picture of Mars, everyone, in a minute, slammed onto Earth and broke off a chunk that eventually coalesced into the moon. So, yeah. Isn't that cool? And if everyone knows, that's Mars, everyone. So, could that be Tiamat that crashed into the Earth? This ancient civilization that we keep on hearing about. Could that be the object that crashed into the Earth 4.5 billion years ago?
Very well could be.
Because I'm not rude. Looking at the Mars, they're saying a Mars-sized object. It's got to be something with that kind of force in it.
Right. I believe it's an asteroid. Right, I don't believe it's like a planet or something.
It could be an asteroid. But it's Mars-sized object. What would the Mars-sized object be then? Mars-sized.
What was that? Is that American? American report?
No, that's another one in the UK. So
What?
It's the UK report, but the Chinese done this like discovery.
I never thought the UK described China as a communist country.
There you go. The hypothesis suggests this is a giant impact one, which they're talking about. It said that the early Earth collided with a Mars-sized protoplanet of the same orbit. There, Theia. They're saying it could be Theia, look. Theia is hypothesized to have been about the size of Mars and may have formed in the outer solar system. And provided much of Earth's water through it, though this is debated. So basically, we will all land, if you can believe everyone, and that's what they're saying. And the Earth water, and this could be like a water planet or whatever. And when it crashed into us, Bob's your uncle, basically.
What, he gave us water?
And I think that's what they're trying to get at. Look, because it was formed in the outer solar system and provided much of Earth's water through this, though this is debated. We have 71% water on our planet. But back when that was there you go. There you go. The evidence from 2009 shows that the molybdenum isotopic composition of the Earth's mantle originates from the outer solar system, likely having brought water to Earth. The explanation is that Theia, the planet is said in the giant impact hypotheses to have collided with Earth 4.5 billion years ago, forming the moon, may have originated in the outer solar system rather than in the inner solar system, bringing the water and carbon-based materials with it. Yeah, that's what they're basically saying. That's really what they're saying, mate.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying we will all land, and then when did that planet crash into us, if it did happen, there are prophecies that the carbon dioxide and everything, and like carbon that we need on the planet and the water have all come onto us, and hence why we got more water. Because how much water did Earth originally have? They were like, I wonder if they've prophesized that. It would make sense though, and that's why they don't want to look in the ocean. Because if this planet did crash into us, I'm not saying it, guys. You could, like I said, you leave in the comments if you think I'm wrong or whatever. When you're liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell, so you know when I'm live. I'm just saying now, if it did happen like that, and bang, the play that tear with that Earth like that, and the water come on, you don't know what creatures or whatever that planet had, do you? And that's probably why NASA's scared to look at our ocean. On one, could be a theory. Because you never know, do you?
But would you not notice a planet in your ocean?
But
And
again,
granted it. So what?
Yeah, well, but that's the thing though. If the planet blew up though, but they only just like gave us the water, I'm not really acceptable. You know what I mean? Because I know that's what. Because that's what they're saying, isn't it? If I remember correctly, that theory also says the impact coming onto us, the war happened, then it caused South America to break from Africa, and all these. And that's why I'm going to finish off my sentence, and then I'll say again, in case Caleb doesn't hear me. If it goes, that's how the theory is basically. There it is. I was just about to start my theory again, mate. So you can jump in if you want after I'm done, and see what if you want to add anything or whatever. But my theory is that when the planet collided with us, if I say this is the hypothesis is true, it gave us water, then it caused South America to break from Africa, and you start getting all these land breaks because of all because the impact is like a tsunami and earthquakes, and then everything starts breaking apart, doesn't it? Like all because of the impact of a planet in a planet sends like really big shockwaves, and it like changes the landscape, doesn't it?
Aye.
And that's how I think the world came to be now. If that is what they're saying, because once upon a time, if you think about it, it was all one big, like we had one big, vast, basically continent. Now we have multiple.
Yeah, Pangea.
Yeah, Pangea. That's how I can think of one. Yeah, but now look at it.
But tectonic plates. Think about that.
But could tectonic plates be the cause of after cause of what this planet done?
Don't know. Might have started a tsunami. That might have been a part of a tsunami if that happened.
Because I know
Then
it would.
that's what happened.
Because I'm saying that's what I'm getting at. Because if that planet is basically all water, Tia was basically all water. Because we don't even know. Because we don't even know. Look, see. Look, there's an animation of what could have happened. You see this? Look. So basically, no water. It's going. It's going. It's hit us. We've got water now, and there's a moon. So that's what I'm saying. If something hit us like that, the entire planet would be basically not being acceptable. You would feel it. Back then, I'm not rude. I don't know. I say it happened now. I'm touch wood it don't. But you would feel it everywhere. You would feel it from here to bloody Cape Town to bloody Wellington, New Zealand, wouldn't you? And that could be the reason. I know that they say an asteroid hit Earth going to cause the dinosaurs to go. But, for example, could have been this planet. If this hypothesis is correct, could have been this planet that killed the dinosaurs. Because it drowned them. Because of all the water.
That could be.
Because I know one day they didn't have water or whatever on the planet, or they had a little bit, and then boom, you get a lot of water, don't you? If that planet was water, like mainly water.
Yeah.
Evidence published in January 2016 suggests, there you go, that the impact was indeed a head-on collision, and that Tia's remains are on Earth and the Moon. They're going to have a look at that now. That's interested me a bit. See how one subject on this turns into, we were talking about the moon now, everyone, and we've just gone into a new topic. And this is basically all revolving around the moon. I just love how this tangent goes. There you go. The indications are that Tia impacted Earth 100 million years after the birth of Earth, approximately 4.5 billion years ago. At this point, the Earth would still have been largely molten with a veneer or thin crust and a tremendous amount of volcanic activity. During this collision, Tia was incorporated and mixed into parts of the Earth and Moon. It is unclear the size of Tia during the impact. The current range of theories put the planet between the size of Mars and the size of Earth. So what I said.
Yeah.
That when it come, it gave us all the water basically, and it could have drowned out everything on the planet basically, which weren't used to it.
Yeah.
Unless you think there's something different, mate, or do you want to add anything to that?
No, well, granted, there probably was a collision, but we just don't know what that collision was. So this is just all a theory, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we don't know what happened.
No, but if this did happen, it would explain a lot of things, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. The researchers, there you go. This is because this is where they got it from, the moon. The researchers analysed 7 rocks brought to the Earth from the moon by separate Apollo missions, 12, 15, and 17, as well as six volcanic rocks from the Earth's mantle, 5 from Hawaii and 1 from Arizona. And that, we don't see any difference between the Earth's and the moon's oxygen isotopes. They're indistinguishable. The fact that oxygen in rocks on the Earth and our moon share chemical signatures was very telling. Young said, as Earth and Tyr collided in a glancing side blow, the vast majority of the moon would have been made mainly of Tyr, and the Earth and moon should have different oxygen isotopes. A head-on collision, however, likely would have resulted in similar chemical composition of both Earth and the moon. So they're saying that Tyr was finely mixed into both the Earth and the moon and evenly dispersed between them. This explains why we don't see a different signature of Tyr in the moon than on Earth. Tyr, which did not survive the collision, of course, except that it now makes up large parts of Earth and the moon, was growing and probably would have become a planet if the crash had not occurred. It believes that the planet was approximately the same size as the Earth, but others believe it was smaller, perhaps similar in size to Mars. There you go. And then after the collision, another interesting question is whether the collision with Tyr removed any water that the early Earth may have contained. After the collision, perhaps tens of millions of years later, small asteroids likely hit the Earth, including ones that may have been rich in water. There you go. So that might be where the waters come from, the asteroids 10 million years later. That's what they're saying. So they're basically saying that Tyr might not have done any water, obviously on the Earth, or added to it, but the ones that the asteroids that come 10 million years later may have possibly contained the water that we see now. It is interesting, though. You know? Ain't it, mate? Guess he's gone. Looks like he's gone quiet for a minute. But yeah, that's a crazy theory, you know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you believe that Tyr gave us our water today? Do you believe it was another source of up for debate? Or do you believe something else completely? Let me know. I'd love to have your comments and that. Like, subscribe, and that. I'm gonna end it here. So yeah, like and subscribe, share with everyone that you think would find this interesting. Let's aim for about 3 or 4 likes, everyone. Or I mean, you can think you guys deserve. I'd love to have 150 subs by the end of the year, so please push me to get there. Thank you so much. Hello to everyone. Who will be watching this on catch up. I'm going to be going to grab something to eat, and then I'm going to come back live again. So I don't know whether you want to do another one, Caleb, or let me know. Because because there's another show I want to do. Daniel, if you ever come about, let me know, and then I'll try and get you involved in the next one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Love and be kind to everyone. Stay amazing. Be kind. And most of all, like I always say, the truth is out there, and we're going to get to it one giant step at a time. I'm not going to say one giant leap at a time. I want to be different. Anyways, thank you, everyone. Take care, and see you later.